Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to Hero Lecter's channel. Is it weird to to greet to greet viewers like that? I don't know, but anyway, um, yeah. So we are on day 4, I think, of recording of these daily blogs, and it's nighttime if you couldn't tell, and it's Monday. So the first thing that we'll do, instead of doing a full, grade of the day yesterday, I pretty much, well, you know what? Let's just stay consistent. So I decided that I'm going to do my perfect day plan blogs on the weekends, and then on weekdays I'll find something else to talk about, whether it's very brief or whether it's lengthier. Uh, I like I said before, I kind of have a goal of shooting for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. But if it happens to go longer than that or be under that, then that's okay. This is still me kind of starting things out and getting the hang of it and seeing, my flow and just how I go. Basically my recording personality and how I can, how much I have to say and everything. So I'm still kind of feeling all of that out. But yeah, we will see. But that is the plan for now. So since it's Monday, I'll do a little bit of both. I will go ahead and review yesterday, like I said, and give a little bit of miscellaneous thoughts. So yesterday, I had a plan of. Let me see. I didn't write it down in my notes. I don't know why I didn't make notes of what I wanted to do yesterday, but instead I'll just go over what I actually did. So, woke up, started wiping things down. I think that was on yesterday morning and not Saturday. Anyway, I went to mass after that, and then I went to the Eucharistic adoration to sit in prayer for a minute. Then I went back home and prayed the rosary. So that was a very good, couple of hours just to focus on God and focus on, just prayer. It felt very good. And then after that, I started to draw a little bit. I finally finished up that one picture, or at least my first picture in Photoshop, and I also finished up another one later on that evening. And I am pretty proud ish with how both of them turned out. I'm more proud of how the second one turned out than the first one because I spent much less time on the second one. That one might have been done in about an hour, I think, whereas I spent like multiple hours over 2 or 3 days working on the first one. And I started to get, after a certain amount of time working on something, you will inevitably start to get a deficit of returns. I don't think that there's any piece of work that I've made that took like over 2 days that I look back on it and think that it was actually worth that time. Um, that rarely ever happens, and I can't recall a time that that's been the case for me with any single piece. I say that to say I enjoyed the second one a lot more, even if it was, more plain than the first one. And I have a Discord where I post my art. Discord. Wow. I have a. Well, first I do have a channel on Discord where I post my art and I post all of my miscellaneous extensive thoughts on the picture and my thought process from beginning to middle to end, and also what I was thinking at the beginning, what random thoughts that occurred to me while making it, and what do you call them, and how I felt about it at the end. So, yeah, I do have that, but what's probably maybe more relevant to you all is social media. So I have social media pages that I'll post these mysterious pictures that I keep talking about that I don't actually show you guys because I do not want to do editing for these videos. I really dig the one shot, kind of super authentic and uh, likewise synonyms style of videos, and that's what I'm going to continue to try doing. I think it's also good because it helps me to learn to articulate myself better, to form a conscious stream of thoughts, and to just speak more casually in front of the camera, which will also help me out in other ways of life. So, it's just a style of editing, or at least recording, that I prefer. Anyway, yeah. So, wow, I spent all of that time just talking about the drawing. So, anyway, I finished up the last drawing, finished up another one, and then I did not do my meal prep meals, and that is purely because of sloth. That was simply because of sloth and nothing else. So, let me see. After that, I oh, that was Siri just started going off for whatever reason. Anyway, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I did message my friend that I met at the young adults group. The Oh wait, no, I couldn't. I couldn't. I tried to look up his info in my phone and I couldn't find his number because I don't know why. I have a really bad habit of not saving people's names in my phone. I just call them. I just recognize people by the last four of their phone numbers. I have a feeling that that's probably a little bit more common than I think, but it's still not a good habit because then sometimes I'll forget people's last four of their phone numbers if I haven't spoken to them in a while or if I don't speak to them regularly. Anyway, I couldn't find the message that I sent the guy. And even if I did put his name in my phone, I can't remember what his name was. So it's kind of I don't know. It's just kind of crappy. But he usually shows up to the event, so I'll just see him at the next one, and then we can chat, then exchange info again. Maybe I got his Instagram. I think I got his Instagram because he's also an artist, so that's something that we have in common, and we're gonna just chat about, I guess. So maybe it was on Instagram. I can't exactly remember, so I'll check. And if not, then I'll just go and see him at the next event if he's there. So anyway, there's that. And I also called a friend that I hadn't spoken to in a while on Discord, and we chatted for a little bit. And yeah, that conversation was kind of awkward. So, the topic of politics came up, and politics are a stressful topic because of how polarizing it is. Some people have this belief that you should be able to have whatever political opinion you have. Well, I say I don't like to refer to them as political opinions because opinions just sound very light and kind of um, divorced from the impacts that they have on reality. Like, for example, your favorite color, that's an opinion, right? Favorite genre of music, that's an opinion. Um, and, by technicality, yes, political beliefs are opinions as well. But I think I just prefer to call them political beliefs because that's kind of a more heavy term for the lack of a better word. It has more weight to it. It's it's a word that I think gets across the importance of political beliefs more than just political opinions. Hopefully you get what I mean. Anyway, that's what we kind of talked about. And some people believe that you should be able to have whatever political beliefs that you have, and that shouldn't affect any type of relationships that you have with anyone. Whereas other people understand that your political beliefs do have So first, political beliefs are a kind of a okay, man, I made a personal essay of myself. Well, I made a personal essay to myself, I guess, about the importance of political beliefs, but I'm just trying to, I'm kind of blanking on it right now. It's really late. This is about the time that I would go to sleep, but I just had to get my recording in for the night. So I'm just going to make this really short, and then I'll go more into about it tomorrow. So, how was it? How was it? How was it? How was it? Political beliefs inform you of a person's character. They inform you of uh, who they are, which means how they grew up, um, hardships that they faced, their level of empathy for others, their level of understanding of the hardships of others, and let me see what else. Um, yeah, and their perspective on people who are more and less fortunate than them, and generally how, let me see, generally how rights and liberties are dispersed among different groups of people. Those are a lot of things that political beliefs um, inform people of about you or me or anybody really. You get what I mean? And it's no small thing. A person's political beliefs that are opposed to yours. It's not merely that you just think something else. When you believe something that is reflected in how you look at other people and how you interact with them, how you view them, consciously and subconsciously. And it's you just have to accept that political beliefs that you have are going to afford you enemies as well as allies. You can't please everybody. Everybody can't, be your friend. You can't be cool with everybody. Unfortunately, we would all love if that were the case, right? But alas, it is not. And people with rather hostile beliefs that have negative impacts on other people. These are the types of people that think, "Oh man, it's just a political opinion. It's really not that serious. Why do we have to stop being friends? Why can't we just still get along anyway?" And that's a very obtuse and very naive way of thinking that people who are comfortable can afford to think. They can afford to think so lightly about such topics, while people who are at risk of being affected negatively by certain policies, certain laws, certain beliefs, certain philosophies, they can't. People who are at risk, who have things to lose based on your political beliefs and the beliefs of everyone else like you. It's not just about you, it's also about everyone else like you, including those in actual power. They don't have that luxury of just thinking, oh, well, it's okay. It doesn't really matter, because there are things at stake. There are things at stake for them. For some people, there are. For some people, there are not, and they just want to maintain the status quo and not change things. And that's something that maybe I'll go into at a later time. But hopefully, I explain myself a little bit well. The more I think about it, this just came to my mind as I was speaking. I didn't plan on talking about that really, but maybe if I think about it some more, then I'll be able to go into a bit more detail about that tomorrow. But yeah, that's basically how that conversation went. My friend is kind of a younger person. He's in his early 20s. Me, I'm in my late 20s. So uh, I believe that he still has a bit of growing to do, but uh, man, it also revealed a lot about my friend's perspective and mentality. And man, it's just rough when you learn about a side of someone that that kind of betrays the way that you looked at them before and aligns them more with the type of people that you normally don't get along with. Not saying I'm going to stop talking to my bud altogether just based on that one conversation, although I totally reserve the right to. But like I said, he's got some growing up to do. I told him a lot of things, gave him lots to think about. So, all I can do is hope for growth and, go from there. Just handle things however they develop in the future. But yeah, that's basically how yesterday went. And those are a little bit of my just random thoughts for today. So thank you for listening. Hopefully, you tune back in tomorrow. I will probably be recording a morning video tomorrow because I don't like doing these night videos, at least during the weekdays, because it cuts into the time that I should be sleeping and preparing to sleep, because sleep hygiene is an important thing. You know what? Maybe that's what we'll talk about tomorrow, is sleep hygiene. It's something that we hear about all the time. We we're always told about how important it is. By we hear it just through research. Teachers tell us, parents tell us, stuff like that. But it's something that we don't really take seriously. But I think that we should. And maybe this will just go in one ear and out the other, just like it does with everyone else. Or at least that's how it was for me. That stuff about sleep hygiene and whatnot, it never really resonated, stuck with me. I didn't really take it seriously until well, recently, I guess. But that's something that we'll go into tomorrow. I think I like that topic, so I'll spend some time thinking about that. And yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, subscribe if you would like. I would like it most if you could leave a comment on the video. Just let me know what you thought of my thoughts, what you thought about my thoughts. And then I'd, just like to hear that. So, good night. If it's night for you, if it's about that time for you to go to sleep, make this the last video that you watch. Say your prayers and have sweet dreams. So long, YouTube. For tonight. Good night, YouTube.